Today, the American Red Cross is known for many things. Emergency assistance for victims of floods, storms, fires, and other disasters. For life-saving blood. For first aid, CPR, and aquatics training. But the Red Cross movement was born on the battlefield in Solferino, Italy, and introduced to America by Clara Barton. After serving selflessly during the Civil War, Clara turned her energy to serving the nation through the American Red Cross. Its primary mission from the beginning was to help soldiers in time of war. Clara Barton's legacy continues today and is as vital as ever.
The mission of services to the armed forces is to provide support to military members, their families, retirees, and veterans. Those services are primarily emergency communication services, but they can also be some access to financial assistance, as well as counseling and referrals and access to a wide variety of community services.
These are one of our favorites. We always love the material put out by the Red Cross.
Before today's soldiers leave for battle, they get to know Red Cross through outreach programs. When they're away and out of touch, Red Cross keeps them connected with family. Red Cross volunteers give support to veterans and military hospitals, offering toiletries and goods knitted by caring hands. For some volunteers, it's personal.
There was a time when I needed Red Cross in 1970. I was stationed in Germany and my father died. And within hours, the Red Cross was there and they got me on a plane and it was on my way back to the United States. So I kind of can connect with them and it's my opportunity to give back to them.
Carroll County, Maryland resident Ruth Vogel knows what it means to have Red Cross help. Her son had been serving in Iraq for 3 months when she received a call.
So I stopped when I heard the phone ring and went back to answer it, and the caller said, "Is this Ruth Vogel?" And I said, "Yes." And then the next question after that was, are you the mother of Brandon Erickson? And that's when I caught my breath and I said, "Just hang on a second, let me sit down."
I was a machine gunner that day and we got ambushed with an improvised explosive device that was buried in the dirt beside the road that disabled our truck. And knocked me out from the blast. It was a rather large artillery blast that lifted the 20-ton truck about 5 feet in the air and then threw us back on the road. And I was hit sometime in between this, I'm not quite sure when. I think I was knocked out, lost my right arm, and then I had a lot of scarring and injuries to my face where the shrapnel hit me, and then my passenger was killed.
At home, Brandon's frantic mother struggled to find out the extent of her son's injuries until her husband handed her a slip of paper with a crucial number.
And he'd written American Red Cross on it. And he said, "Why don't you call them? I think that this is what you need to do. I've heard that this is who will get you connected and who can help you."
Red Cross, this is Kim speaking. How may I help you?
Until we made that phone call to the Red Cross, it was chaos. Red Cross gave us a sense of, okay, so there is actually a process in place for this. It was reassuring.
The Red Cross, working with Senator Barbara Mikulski's office, got Ruth Vogel on a flight from Maryland to Germany, where her son had been flown for surgery. She was met by the Red Cross offering her a comfort kit and free telephone calling cards.
I was there for a week, but at least gave me some sort of friendly face, if you will. In a time literally just 2 days after Brandon lost his arm and didn't know if we were going to be able to see him again either.
The biggest thing is having family around, my mom there and my girlfriend. It made all the difference in the world for me making a good recovery.
Today, he is healthy, newly married, working for the city of Fresno, California, and a triathlete. But he still remembers how alone he felt as a wounded soldier.
So I came out of surgery and I looked down and I saw my right arm was gone. It was just a big bandage. I only had about 6 inches left in my arm and my mid-humerus, and really freaked out. I lost, started crying, and I was just devastated. I just didn't even know what to do. 24 hours earlier I was 21-year-old kid having fun and naive in Iraq, doing what I was told to do and trying to work hard at it. Now I was a right arm amputee, and I didn't know what was going on. I was in a lot of pain, and so it was nice to have my mom there. As I stayed at Walter for the next 5 months, I would see, you know, a lady carrying the Red Cross bag. To me, each one would represent another soldier they were going up to help.
The bonds of friendship and camaraderie are rarely stronger than those forged between Marines. Eric Herzberg from Severna Park, Maryland, and Sebastian Plozai from Brooklyn, New York, had met in boot camp. Deployed to Iraq, they had become fast friends. Even their mothers became close confidants over the phone, supporting each other in their common fears and sharing in their sons' adventures.
If you saw Eric, you saw Sebastian. If you saw Sebastian, you saw Eric. They just had a great time together. There's a story of the two of them. They were supposed to be on watch. They were on watch, and they were filming, and Eric and Sebastian just started dancing. And of course there was no music, so they were making their own music, and they were supposed to be on watch. But it's really, really funny.
Marines knocked on Gina Barnhurst's door, October 21st, 2006. Her 20-year-old son, Eric, had been killed by a sniper in Iraq. Fellow Marines, including his best friend Sebastian, mourned him near the site of his death.
I'm here to talk about a man, a great man. Not only was he a man and a Marine, but he was my brother and my best friend. Me and Herzberg did everything together.
Listen closely.
Sebastian begged his mother, Gabriella Plozai, to go to Eric's funeral.
The first time I heard about the Red Cross was when Kevin Burr contacted us after Eric had died and asked us, you know, what he could do. He expressed his sympathy and then asked us if there was anything he could do to help us. And I, of course, couldn't think of a thing, but my brother is the one who thought about Gabriella. They were really good about getting her down here and, you know, paying for her to stay down here. The minute I saw her and the minute she saw me, I mean, we just hugged each other, and she was never away from my side after that. We had a very close bond, even though we had never met. It's a bond that you can't explain to somebody else who hasn't been through it. What it's like to have your son over in a foreign country where you can't get to them, and you know that every day they're in harm's way. And it's a very helpless feeling.
Since its founding, during war and peace, the American Red Cross has provided services to members of the armed forces, their families, and veterans. Red Cross is not funded by the government, but its volunteers, under the terms of its 1905 Congressional Charter, will continue to proudly carry out this most compassionate of missions.
You know, people like Kevin do things so that you don't even realize how much they're helping you. It wasn't a fake, it was a real concern for what we needed. And that was really comforting. It was comforting to know that people understood the sacrifice and understood the courage and commitment that these young men and women in our military show.